What's up, everybody? I'm Luke from the Master Sword Valley, and welcome back to Doki Doki Blue Skies. Now, last time, of course, it was finally Christmas, but I unfortunately uploaded that video a little too late as Christmas has already passed. But something was still not up right with Sayori, so let's hope she's feeling better now. Feeling refreshed after a decent night's sleep, I'm patiently waiting for Sayori. The winter chill really has no mercy, especially this early in the morning. Thankfully, Sayori isn't particularly late, and before we know it, we're on our way to school. Hey, Alex! Yes, Lady Sayori, how may I be of service on this fine winter morning? I was curious, who's your favorite club member? Not including you? I don't really have any, to be honest. None of them are as awesome as you. Come on, you've got to like one of them more than the others. I narrow my eyebrows. Where's this question coming from? Why the sudden interest? Like, seriously, I just wanted to know how well you're getting along with the others. I'm getting along with them just fine. Definitely not Natsuki for obvious reasons. I never got the feeling that she likes me. Plus, it's always really awkward when it's just the two of us. I spoke to her alone once last semester, and it was a painful experience. What about Monica? Compared to Natsuki, we definitely get along a lot better. She looked super appreciative when I told her how much I liked the club just before we performed. But to be honest, she's always a little intimidating. I nervously scratched the back of my head. You know, being the perfect student and all, maybe I'm imagining it, but sometimes I get the impression that she might look down on me. Don't get me wrong, I definitely appreciate all of her hard work for the club and all. Much like Natsuki, we've never really spent much time together, so I wouldn't really say she's my favorite either. So what about Yuri? Unless I'm mistaken, Sayori is trying really hard to appear nonchalant. It isn't working particularly well. Well, yeah, I'd probably say her. I mean, I've got to know her a little better over the last semester, and she went for someone who could barely maintain eye contact with me, to someone who agreed to go shopping with me when it was just us. I enjoyed seeing her come out of her shell to allow me to see her real her, I guess. Oh, okay. That's what I thought. Sayori, is everything okay? I noticed that you left kind of abruptly last night after we talked about Yuri. Did you guys have an argument or something? I really can't imagine those two fall out. Of all people, it's extremely rare for Sayori to get angry, along with the fact that their personalities don't clash at all. So, what could it be? Oh, of course not, silly. I was a bit surprised at how friendly she's been with you recently, that's all. Given how shy she is, I'm just curious to, just a bit surprised, that's all. Right. School is looming in sight, so unfortunately our conversation will have to end here. Oh man, you kidding me? Okay, let me go ahead and save again, overwrite the next save. There we go. So, as you can tell, the 1930s were very important to the European history. Countries all across the continent were experiencing significant changes, both politically and socially. Now, I made it my New Year's resolution to end my lessons before the bell rings, so we'll call it there. Oh, by the way, can I have a word, Alex? I swear to God, those must be the scariest words you could ever hear. Well, along with, I'm pregnant, we have to talk, or it's not you, it's me. What? Hopefully things I won't hear from Sayori, especially the second one. Yeah. I approach the front desk, awkwardly hovering by the side. I need to give you the results of your exams, so here they are. Okay, and I need to give you the results of your exams. That list. He pulls out a piece of paper and lowers his voice as some students are eating nearby. You don't have to look like you've seen a ghost. My mind wanders back to last October. Funny he should mention ghosts. For the most part, you've done well. Your grades in history, Japanese, and English are satisfactory. Looks like being in that literature club has really helped, huh? How'd you know about that? Alex, please, I'm a wise old owl. Aren't you one of the youngest teachers in the school? He sighs dramatically. You can never let me have my fun, can you? Although, your grades in other subjects could be a little better, namely math and physics. It's not a cause of your concern, but I know you can do better. Yeah, about that. Truth be told, last semester was kind of hectic. Relationship stuff. Sayori? How did you know? His eyes twinkle with a knowing smile. Anyway, you're a bright student, well, when you want to be, so breathe a sigh of relief. I'd recommend paying attention to the technical stuff from math and physics especially, and don't be afraid to ask for help when it's needed. Not everyone can excel at everything, but I have faith in your ability to bring your grades up. Thanks, sir. The past few months weren't easy. Relationships are tricky. So I'm glad I was able to keep up academically, at least. He pauses to study me, offered a shrewd smile. Of course. Just be careful not to make Sayori's jealous. From what I've seen, the literature club is full of girls. He chuckles to himself. You stay out of this. Now I've got to go to a meeting that I have to pretend to be interested in. There really is no rest for the wicked. With a nod, he turns to leave. As I turn to follow him, my brain keeps replaying those words in my head. Should be careful not to make Sayori jealous. Fumbling for my phone, I notice a text from Monica sent to all the club members in a group chat. What's up? Hey guys, just been told that the club room is being used after school today. Okay. It's for a supervision session for people to talk to teachers about their exam grades. Plus something super important has popped up, which means that I can't make it. I'll do my best to rearrange it. Sorry guys. I'm mechanically shoot her reply while in autopilot. My brain is whirring at 1,000,000 times an hour as I finally realize something I should have seen coming. Before I can say anything, Sayori starts the conversation. Okay. You know what? No, not really worth it. What's up? So my teacher gave me my exam results back. Oh? Yeah, I can't really complain, I guess. I did much better than I thought I would for biology, but physics was a bit of a nightmare. Math wasn't great either. But on the whole, I think I've done okay. Sayori, are you jealous of Yuri? The abruptness of my question, along with the clash of conversation topic, takes her by surprise. For a moment, there's a silence. A silence which grows heavier as I realize how tactless I was with my approach. What makes you think that? You're my girlfriend, and I've known you for years. What would I have to be jealous of? She's trying to sound confident in her answer, but the wariness in her voice gives her away. I don't know, that we spent time together, the Christmas shopping, and her walking home with me yesterday? Sayori turns away so I can't read the expression on her face. When she replies, she's talking to the ground. I'm sorry, Alex, it's just, you seem so happy with her, and we're just friends, Sayori. I would have thought you could see that. Don't you trust me? I'm not sure I want to hear the answer. It's not that I don't trust you, it's just that I'm trying to believe that I'm worth your time and that I'm here about how she's your favorite member of the club and you really enjoyed seeing her come out of her shell. So that's why she was asking me. It all makes sense now. First her depression, now the jealousy. And when I asked why Yuri wanted to walk home with you, you said you couldn't tell why because it was personal. I mentally smacked myself. Ugh! Looking back, of course that answer must have sounded suspicious. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to sound like I doubted you or anything. I really hope not. Sayori and I settled at my house. Once we're comfortable, I continue to press her. No, Sayori, it's not your fault. I didn't really see it from your perspective at all. Please believe me when I say that you're the only one I want. Yuri is a great friend, but that's it. The feelings I've felt for her have always been platonic. I hope I said that right. I wrap her into a hug and she sighs as I stroke her. She clings to me, hiding her face in the folds of my blazer. I'm the one who should be apologizing. I'm totally new to relationships, so I really don't have a clue what I'm doing. It's okay. It's okay. I didn't think you were doing it to hurt me or anything. Okay, good, because I never do anything to hurt you. I've been such an idiot. Yuri has just been feeling really lonely recently. I briefly fill Sayori in on what Yuri told me yesterday. I'm not entirely sure if I should be telling her this, but at this point in time, I'm much more concerned with complete clarity between Sayori and I. Oh, so that's why. It makes a lot of sense thinking about it, although I can't help but think. She looks down at the ground, nervously biting her lip. What is it? I can't help but feel that Yuri likes you, Alex. Really? You can be really dense sometimes. There's a sad playfulness to her tone. Yes, really. She's trying to spend more time with you. She really appreciates your company. It's subtle, but I can tell by the way she looks at you. I think she gets attached really quickly. But she said she knew we were together and didn't want to intrude on that or anything. No. Sayori? Maybe I was right then. About what? About me just dragging you down. Oh, stop this! What can I even give you that Yuri can? You said it yourself, she's lonely, and if she was with you, then she'd be happy. She's smart, she's really pretty, she's really elegant, and what am I? I'm just an airhead. I can't even find the time to get ready in the morning. I'm just a dead weight. Don't you dare! You're so much more than that, Sayori. Even if Yuri was the most desirable girl on the planet, I wouldn't give a damn because you're the only person that I want. You know something? When I was talking with Yuri yesterday, I couldn't help but wish that it was you I was with. It was the one time we didn't talk together, but one time is all I needed to realize how much I enjoy walking home with you. So, what if you can't find the time to get ready in the morning? You're still beautiful, even when you don't try. Aw, Alex. You're just saying that, though. I swear on my life that I am being 100% genuine. These are the things I wanted to say to you, but I've never really known how. And that's not all. I wake up every day and I feel so goddamn lucky knowing that you are my girlfriend. You've always been there for me when I needed it most. I don't think I've ever told you how happy you make me. I pull her close for a kiss. She clings to me, and I can sense the urgency in her touch. It's impossible to describe how it feels to hold her in this moment of vulnerability. I don't really care about how elegant Yuri is, if I'm being honest. That's her, who she is. Let me save again. I much prefer your quirkiness and how silly we can be together. We have that link that no other girl in the world can say they have. We really do have a history together, don't we? A history that I'd never trade for anything. Alex? Please don't leave me. I know I'm being selfish for asking that. You're not. It's still so confusing. But when I'm with you, I feel warm inside, and I think that, well, just for a moment, that maybe everything will be okay. I can't really understand why you care so much about me. But I'll trust you. Really? I'm glad, Sayori, I really am. But if I'm being honest, she looks up at me. We can't do this alone. I think we should look into getting you some therapy. She looks away. I'll obviously always be here for you, but I'm just a normal teenage guy. There's only so much that I can do. I don't know. Why not? It's just a really scary thought. I don't want to go through all that false hope again. Again? I've tried therapy and antidepressants before, Alex. Back when I was first diagnosed with depression. You were diagnosed with it? That's suspicious. Everyone told me it would work. They told me I would feel okay again. But that never happened. I was much younger back then, and everything was a million times scarier and more confusing. All those tests, all those questions, the drugs. I didn't know what was wrong with me. The whole thing was terrifying. What I'd give to be a medical professional right now. Wow, Sayori, I had no idea. I wouldn't have expected you to have known. Would you believe me if I said things would be different from this time around? And how would you know that? I wouldn't, at least for sure. But if we leave this unchecked, how would things ever change? I know it must be really hard for you, believe me. I can only imagine what you're going through. And I totally get why you'd be reluctant to try it again. But I promise you that this time, I will be here. I will be here for you, Sayori. You wouldn't have to go through all of it alone. I squeeze her hand. Well, we'll get through this together, remember? But if it doesn't work again, we'll find another doctor or another therapist until it does then. It's not going to be easy, though. I know, but I'm never going to give up on you, so I don't care how long it takes. You're so selfless in how much you care about other people's happiness, but I want you to be happy. Do I really deserve that, though? If other people deserve happiness, why don't you, Sayori? For real, why not? Just ask yourself that. Huh? Please? For me? Okay, for you. It feels like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Finally, I feel like I'm not alone in trying to help Sayori anymore. I know that it must have been a really difficult thing to agree to. I'm really proud of you. You're much braver than you realize. Although, I haven't been too pushy or anything, have I? I want to encourage you, not force you. It's something I would have had to try sooner or later, I guess. While there's always that chance that therapy might fail again, it's also the only way I could potentially get better. See? That's the spirit! She doesn't look wholly convinced, but smiles anyway. I'll do it for you, Alex. I'm not going to hold my breath, but if it makes you happy, I'll give it a try. That's all I can ask for right now. It means a lot to me that you'd be willing to try again. Well, let's hope this time it works out a little better. Anyway, I'll talk to my doctor tomorrow. Sounds like a plan. Let's see. What? Oh, come on. Why can't I save? Come on. Let's see. Offer to join her at therapy. There's something that I will join her. Oh, and Sayori, let me go ahead and save that. That's gonna do me much good. I can come with you to your therapy sessions if you want. Are you sure? Would they let you? I think so. I mean, if you tell them if you're okay with it, I don't see why not. Just keep me updated, okay? I wouldn't want to miss your first session. Okay, then. And thank you. It's kind of daunting to start, so having you around should hopefully make it much easier. I'm just glad I can help. God, that's so sad. I don't even really know what to say to that. I would have said all those things. So the game read my mind, kind of. Alright. Before I know it, the weekend has already arrived. It's been a few days since Sayori agreed to try therapy. With a slight nudge from me, she spoke to her doctor, who managed to arrange her first therapy session tomorrow. As relieved as I am with such a speedy response, I'm still fairly apprehensive. Seeing how persuasive her condition is, interfering with her ability to get homework done, twisting your self-perception, it's been daunting. I can't lie. I guess just seeing how serious depression is has been a shock to my system. A part of me does worry that somehow me getting involved in is actually a bad thing. Perhaps I'm somehow making it more complicated. Do I really know what I'm getting into here? Probably not. No, Alex, don't listen to that silly, irrational side. Let's look at the positives. She agreed to get some help, so this is the first step to recovery. Yes, that's true. Plus, I'm going with her, so at least we're making this step together, right? It should be fine. Being a chronic over-worrier truly is a curse. Being with Sayori makes me happy. It's best to focus on that and stop worrying what could go wrong. Because if I constantly focus on the negatives, well, that's no good for anyone. Stay positive. Optimistic outlook, Alex. Optimistic outlook. Optimistic outlook. Say that in my head over and over again. After completing my morning routine, I find myself sitting in the kitchen, aimlessly wondering about how to spend the day. One of the drawbacks of the first relationship is that you don't really know what you're meant to do with your partner. It's too cold to spend much time outdoors, so we're limited to the indoors. I check my watch, 10:14 a.m. Oh, it's not, it's 1:05. Pretty early, Sayori wouldn't even be awake yet. As my gaze idly settles on the used plates in front of me, an idea hits me. Ooh, Sayori would love this. About half an hour later, my work is done and carefully placed into a bag. I make the trip over to her room, hoping that she's still asleep. As I was hoping, she's fast asleep. No surprises, given it's not 11 yet. As I approach her, I'm struck by how cute she looks when she's sleeping. Wait, that didn't sound super creepy, did it? Okay. I mentally chastise myself. Stop being so weird, Alex. But the way she's curled up into a ball, even with her hair being a mess and a slight trickle of drool leaking from her mouth, she's perfect. I don't think there's any way that this girl could ever look anything less than beautiful. The light sounds of her snoring turn my light smile into a heartfelt grin. Settling down the bag, I quietly walk over to her and gently brush the lock of her hair that's fallen into her mouth. She stirs slightly as my hand brushes against her forehead. Wakey, wakey, sleepyhead. Dunk, 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 dunk. I made you breakfast. She groggily sits up and rubs her eyes, hugging the blanket closer to her. You didn't have to, Alex. I can't help but feel disappointed and slightly irritated by her reaction. I was really looking forward to seeing how exuberant she'd be. What time is it? Like 11? that ding sounded like a notification on my watch. Yawning, she pushes the covers off and sits up. She still looks quite tired. She gingerly opens the bag and forces a smile on her face. You can thank your dear sunshine poem for inspiration, especially that last line. God, I'm so selfish. I have such a thoughtful boyfriend who's been super considerate and made me breakfast in bed. Can't even thank you properly. He went through all this just for me. Anyone else would be really appreciative, and yet here I am complaining that you're here. Why? Huh? No, it's not like that. Save again. Seriously. I mean, yeah, I was hoping you'd be a little bit happier to see me, but, well, it's kind of on me for forgetting how difficult mornings can be for you. Don't worry about it. I can tell that my words haven't convinced her in the slightest. And I don't get the feeling that you don't want me here. Relax. She slowly starts chewing on the food. This is really good. It's pretty basic stuff, to be honest, but I'm glad you like it. Natsuki's cooking has nothing on me, as you can see. How is it that you can make me laugh, even when it's the last thing I want you to do? Magic, I think. Magic. I don't know. Maybe I was a comedian in my past life. It's a question that science has been trying to answer for the past 100 or so years. By the way, can we just have a lazy day today? I don't really feel like going outside or anything. Fine by me. As she finishes eating, we make our way back to mine. We've pretty much resumed our standard activity of cuddling on the sofa. Maybe my earlier worries were unfounded after all. We're both content in just being each other's presence, regardless of the activity. I'm aimlessly flicking through the movie channel on TV. I whip out my phone. Huh? What is it? Hi, Alex. Oh, God, no. What's up? Not much. Yuri catches on typing and she's taking an awful long time to reply. I get the feeling that she's plucking up the courage to ask me something. Well, I was wondering. Go on. Would you like to discuss the book with me today? I haven't read much of it, to be honest. I think that movie version is on Netflix, though. Hang on, let me check. What's up? Oh, you know, the book that Yuri lent me. I'm checking to see if it's on Netflix. We're gonna have a horror night? Well, I told Yuri I'd let her know my thoughts on the book with her, but I haven't really read enough to really discuss it. But if I can find it on Netflix, then I thought we could all watch it together instead. Oh, here it is. Oh, why'd you look sad? Are you okay with it? Of course. I'd be a terrible friend if I stopped her from coming over. Other people are out there having tough times, too. She shifts her attention to the television, a wan smile on her face. Okay, I figured that if you were here too, you wouldn't feel like I was, I don't know, leaving you out or anything. It's fine, Alex. Dear God, that clown looks even uglier on the big screen. I never liked clowns. Good news, I found it. You can come over. Sayori is here too, by the way. Are you sure about that? Are you sure that I wouldn't be interrupting anything? Nah, she said she's fine with it. It's all good. Hi. 1 ticks later, and Yuri's waiting outside the door, book in hand. Hi, Yuri. Come on in. Sayori's in the living room. Good afternoon, Alex. Thank you for suggesting this, by the way. I haven't seen the movie version yet. Yeah, neither have we. Should be interesting. Ha 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 ha. Hey, Yuri. Just Yuri smiles in greeting. I've heard good things about the film adaptation, so I'm hoping that this will be enjoyable. Only one way to find out. Let's watch it. As predicted, Sayori is a massive chicken jumping at every loud noise and suspenseful scene. On the other hand, Yuri seems totally engrossed in the movie, never once looking away during an ominous scene. For the most part, it's difficult to read her face as she remains fairly impassive. Although, a look of wonder and inner interest occasionally flickers across her face, especially when the monster is on screen. It's definitely one of the better horror movies I've watched. Granted, that isn't saying much as I haven't seen too many. I have to admit, the acting in this film really sells it. Both the clown and the young kids who serve as the protagonists are brought to life really well. Oh no, please don't tell me they're gonna go into that creepy building. Why would they go in there? It's just a nightmare waiting to happen. She ducks behind a cushion, only peering out intermittently. Something she took to doing, that's the clown was first introduced. Typical reaction to say the least. Okay, save again. I laugh and pull her closer. She cuddles into my shoulder, turning her face so she can still see. Out of the corner of my eye, I catch Yuri quickly throwing us a glance. From my peripheral vision, it's hard to tell, but she looks a little sad. I grimace a little. Clearly, I forgot how isolated Yuri feels at home. Watching Sayori and I cuddle is probably a painful reminder. Especially if Sayori's prediction about how Yuri feels about me is true. Alright, is the movie over? Hours or so later and the movie's over. It's been really interesting to see Yuri's thoughts, not just on the movie, but on the horror genre of the whole. Probably messed that up. And that's something I admire about both the book and the movie, how both approach and present the main theme of fear. A lot of film adaptations of books tend to over-sensationalize the content, as many horror movies rely on cheap jump scares to elicit a reaction. Of course, there's nothing inherently wrong with a jump scare, but I find the best horror tends to really get under your skin and makes you think, well, after you finished. Yeah, I agree, jump scares just annoy me really. They startle you, sure, and the build-up can be tense, but from what I've seen, horror movies make it really obvious when one's coming up. The music goes really quiet and really spooky, the character's in a dark place. Indeed, sadly, it's quite the common occurrence with the modern horror. There's not much left to your imagination. I can't help but notice that Sayori has been very quiet throughout the discussion Yuri and I are having. You okay, Sayori? I don't really have much to say. You two carry on, I'm fine. She looks absent-mindedly at the screen. It's unfortunate that the second part of the movie isn't over yet. It's like being able to only read half of the book. The second part is about how the characters come back to fight the clown when they're adults, right? Indeed, and that's where the plot really shines. Anyway, I have some errands to be getting over with, so I'll be going to have to leave. Thank you both, by the way. I really appreciate it. That's okay, Yuri. I hope you're feeling better. Yuri turns to me. Oh, did you tell her? My face grows hot. In my haste, I reassure Sayori that nothing was going on between Yuri and I. I totally forgot that Yuri's confession was likely confidential. Oh, damn. Yeah, I did. Sorry, Yuri, didn't realize it was private. It's okay. I only suppose it's fair that there's clarity between two people in a relationship. Woo! I'm glad that Yuri is so understanding. Anyway, I'll see you two on Monday. Goodbye. See ya. Bye, Yuri. As Yuri leaves, I turn to Sayori. She's looking a little rueful. I hope you were right about therapy, Alex. I'm dreading tomorrow. It's going to be fine. Don't worry. I hope so. I should probably get going as well. See you tomorrow. I don't trust that. With a wave, she departs as well. Okay, it's a transition of day. But by the fact that she said, she should get going too, likely to, be sure to, get to sleep and, get ready for this, I don't know why. I just don't trust that. Okay. As my eyes slowly open, I can't help but feel nervous about how today will go. I can only imagine how nervous Sayori is. It's such a big step for her. I just hope it goes well. Let's hope. Hey Sayori, ready to get going? Yeah. Ooh. Yep. I like that coat there. That's really cute. She's a little quiet and not quite as chipper as she usually is. Let's do this. The journey to the clinic is a quiet one. Thankfully, it's only a short walk away. Let's do this. Well, that was interesting. Her therapist is incredibly patient and empathetic, never once being insensitive with her questioning. That was it? I thought we would like see the clinic or something. That would have made it another good thumbnail moment. He spent the majority of his session getting a picture of her current life situation, to which Sayori was genuinely compliment. I don't know, remember that word. I think that after she told me about her depression, it might have become a little bit easier to talk about it, given I was the first person she confessed to. She didn't look entirely comfortable, but after a few reassuring smiles from me, she was able to answer his questions. The session passed by relatively quickly, and before I knew it, it was already over. Sayori is quiet as she breaks the silence. I've heard a few horror stories about people who really get insensitive therapists, and I was really scared that he'd be one of them. But he was really patient, and so that could have gone a lot worse. She trails off into silence. I'm really proud of you, Sayori. I know that must have been really hard for you to do with how confusing all this can be, but it really does make me happy that you're doing this. I'm glad to hear that, Alex. I really am. By the way, can we spend the rest of the day together? I don't want to go home just yet. And of course we can. Cuddling up on the couch it is. Probably don't want to spend any more time outside. Do it again, because we just had that therapy session. After swinging by the shops to get some snacks, we find ourselves back in our typical cuddling spot. It's rather quiet between us, given, I suppose, after the therapy session, there's a lot to take in for both of us. Tagging along to the session raised so many questions in my mind, though. Now it isn't the best time to ask them, though. Hey, Sayori, yeah? Why don't we play something? We don't have enough people for a board game, though. Nah, I don't mean board games. Remember when we used to play video games together when we were kids? I've always found video games as a really good way to escape reality. Like last year when I was really lonely, I found it helped to take my mind off things. Plus, there's some games that I think you might enjoy. She sits up. Sure, that could be fun. What games were you thinking of? As it turns out, I still have some of those games we used to play. Do you remember Banjo-Kazooie? Ooh, the one with the bear? Haha, yep, that's the one. Let's give it a whirl. Got an old N64. As I was hopping, gaming has been proven to be a wonderful way to get her mind off therapy. She's truly lost in the colorful, immersive world with her face scrunched in determination. At first, she wasn't very good at the game, struggling with the controls, getting lost, and generally being unsure of what she's meant to do. Isn't Banjo-Kazooie kind of like an open-world collectathon? I didn't play it. Although, after a few pointers from me, she really started to pick it up and was soon getting the hang of it. Sayori can be really good at games when she puts her mind to it. It's almost uncanny how skilled she can be, especially as it contracts against the airhead vibe she can give up. Aha! I knew I'd find the jigsaw piece here. I laughed. She's having a great time, and it's heartwarming to see her so happy. Even if it's over a video game, nothing will ever beat seeing Sayori smile. You never know how cute you are, Sayori. Huh? Just seeing you happy makes me so happy. And I swear that nothing will ever change that. Aww. Not that I'm complaining or anything, but where did all this come from? Truth be told, I'm not really sure. Being with her in the therapy room just now was quite eye-opening for me. Not just because I got to see how therapy works, but because it's really dawning on me that she has depression, and this is something we can deal with alone. Of course, I believed her when she said she was depressed back in November, but, well, meeting that therapist and watching him do his job really drove the point home. I'm obviously really glad she's seeking help, but it's made me think. She's been depressed for a long time, and I've only recently came back into her life. So what was life like for her while we weren't friends? Probably awful and super lonely. Alex? Are you there? You're looking kind of sad. What's up? Her bright smile does nothing for my guilt. I'm sorry, Sayori. What are you sorry for, silly? We've only properly begun to hang out not too long ago, right? Since September? Dude, it's been like September, October, November, December. 5 months! 5 months! Yeah? She pauses the game and sets the controller down, sensing the urgency in the situation. And you've been depressed for so many years, but I wasn't there for you. Drifted apart, all because of what? Because I'm an idiot who prioritized gaming and anime over you. I can't even imagine how hard things were for you when we weren't really talking. Alex, none of that is your fault. She genuinely takes my hand in hers. And part of me thinks that, well, I had more an effort with you back then. Perhaps you're us drifting apart didn't cause me to be depressed, Alex. Truthfully, I don't really know why I developed depression. There's a lot I don't know about my condition, but one thing I know is that it doesn't really need an open reason. That's what my doctor said the last time I tried therapy. So please, don't you ever think that you somehow contributed to my depression, okay? You're like the polar opposite. When I'm with you, I'm happy. You make me feel like I'm actually worth something, even though my brain tries really hard to tell me that you're lying. Yeah, but that's in the present. What about in the past? When there were years where we didn't hang out at all. I actually had this conversation with Monica once. It's normal for friendships to be like that, I think. You can go a long time without talking to someone, but if you reconnect with them and you can both get along as if nothing ever happened, did anything really change? I pause upon hearing her words. I guess she does have a point, but I'm finding it hard to internalize. She reaches forward and strokes my face, gently lifting my chin up so we maintain eye contact. The way I see it, we get along just as well now as we did when we were kids. Besides, what happened in the past was the past. If anything, the time apart made me appreciate just how the time I do spend with you even more. Hold on, let me get another one. That's cute. Well, I'm glad that you feel that way, Sayori. I really am. It's just, well, you're going to therapy today made me realize the real reality of depression, and it made me reflect on how much I've been absent in your life. I didn't realize to spring this onto you out of the blue like that. Especially when we wanted to take the off your mind therapy. Especially when you wanted to take your mind off therapy. I was pretty inconsiderate of me. It's okay. It really is. I'm just glad that we can talk these things out, you know? You've been really patient with me, so it's the least I can do for you. Aww. Yeah, and I'd much rather we talked about whatever bothers you than you're bottling it up. After all, bottles are meant to be shared, right? I can't help but laugh. That was clever. If you say so. I do. Seriously, Alex, please don't blame yourself for anything, okay? I've been much happier ever since you came back into my life. I wouldn't have been able to go to therapy if you weren't there with me. And like you said, well, I agree, it is a big step to take. There's a faraway look in her eyes as she ponders her next words. I'd gone so many years without thinking that this was something I'd have to bear alone. But I have to admit that it's nice not having to go through this by myself. She squeezed my hand. Besides, we can't really change the past, can we? Yeah, I guess you're right. You really do have such a big heart, you know that? Nothing ever changed with you. And that's never going to change. It's moments like these that really bring out a warm, fuzzy feeling inside of me. I never felt anything like this before, but it feels so right. Now, I think we have some jigsaws to collect. Of course, let's get back to the game, shall we? She reaches for the controller and starts playing once more. Within seconds, we're whisked into a world of childhood memories, the feel of her warmth in my arms, the sound of her innocent laughter, and the smell of her hair. That little voice of guilt remains, but it's now easier to ignore it. Whoa, it's super late already, and tomorrow's a school day as well. Oh, fine. Tell me about it. Monday mornings are the absolute worst. Not even Sakurai can save them. I just want another break. We just had our Christmas one. I know. Oh well. Anyway, I should get going. Aw, leaving so soon? My attempt at pulling puppy dog eyes caused her to laugh and shake her head. But it's late! I reach toward her and pull her into embrace. In a playful attempt to stop her from leaving, I push her back down the sofa, wrapping my arms tightly around her body. Mwah! You've fallen into my grand trap. Now there's no escape. Ah! You caught me! Whatever can I do? Nothing. My mastermind plan is about foolproof. Is it Sayori proof? What do you? Her lips meet mine immediately. I'm taken in another world. Man, it's almost scary how powerful sensation is whenever we kiss. No fair. Are you complaining? If you prefer, I could just. Her tone is innocent and playful. Not kiss you again. Hey, I didn't say that. That's another good one right there. Hey, I didn't say that. Okay. You win. But there's one thing you didn't prepare for. Oh, and what could that be? I quickly boop her on the nose. Boop. Wah! Surprise sneaky boops aren't allowed. Oh, but surprise sneaky kisses are? You had me trapped. I was just self-defense. So was my boop. This isn't over, meanie. Looking forward to our rematch then? I reach over and check my phone. It's almost midnight. As much as I hate to admit, we probably should call it a day. Although, having said that, an idea just popped in my mind. Okay, Sayori, how about, stay the night? Why don't you stay the night? Eh? Here? That way, we can make breakfast tomorrow morning before school. Ooh, I didn't think of that. Where would we sleep, though? Well, I was thinking I could take the sofa and you could have my bed. Nuh-uh, there's no way I'm letting that happen. You can sleep with me. There's an awkward silence for a second, made slightly comical by the fact that Sayori hasn't realized the implications of her words. Oh? Sorry. I didn't mean it like that. You know what I meant. Anyway, I'm just gonna get my stuff from my place, so I'll be back in a second. Alrighty. After completing my bedtime preparations, I wearily slide into bed, thinking about the conversation that took place today. There's been a lot to take in, I suppose. Ever since Sayori became my girlfriend, there's always been a nagging fear that I'm getting into something that was beyond me. Going to therapy has helped dispel that worry, though. Today was relatively smooth, and I'm hoping that doesn't change. Yeah, I really hope that don't change. Faintly, I hear the click from the front door, followed by footsteps. I'm just gonna get changed, then I'll join you. As Sayori approaches my bed, I can't help but notice how nice her legs look in those shorts. What? Won't you be cold in those pajamas? Nope. I'll have you to warm me up, remember? I'm suddenly very grateful that I have the blanket covering my body. She slides up next to me, pulling the blanket over herself. Slowly, she inches over to me and positions herself so that on top of her head lies just below my chin. Resting her head on my chest, she looks up at me, moves in for a quick kiss, and giggles. As much proximity I can hear in her heartbeat. Her hands feel soft and warm against the fabric of my shirt. She's incredibly warm, but it isn't overbeating and bearing in slightest. On instinct, I wrap my arm around her body and rest my face on top of her hair. Good night, Sayori. I plant a kiss on her forehead. Good night, Alex. Aww. We made a first move. I don't know if that's truly would be like a good first move in any sort of relationship, but we did it. It's fine by me then. Okay. Whoa, what's going on? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stop this episode here. Actually, I know it's shorter than like the normal, but I'm just gonna go ahead and stop things right here. But that was a really interesting episode. That really made me happy on the inside. But that's gonna go ahead and do it. If you guys did like this episode and you want to see more of this game on this channel, make sure you stab that like button. And make sure to leave a comment down below about what you guys want to see next on this channel. Or use the hashtag MSVPlaythis on Twitter as well. I always take your guys' suggestions. While you're at it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell. That way you know when I post a new video on this channel. And make sure you check out all my social media in the description below, as well as the mod link down there as well. But that's gonna go ahead and do it. My name is Luke, and say it with me. Stay strong and feel the power. See ya! Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked what you saw in this video, make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button so you stay tuned for future videos. If you want to check out my previous video, click the box to the left. If you want to check out my last video, click the box to the right. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!